At Linton Zoo near Cambridge are celebrating the birth of a baby tapir. The new arrival is part of a European breeding programme aimed at saving its species from extinction. The tapir's natural habitat is the Brazilian rainforest. They're quite shy creatures which often hide in water, and they use their noses as snorkels. Keepers say mother and baby are both doing well.
The Brazilian or lowland tapir that we have here have just recently been declared extinct in part of their original range. They haven't actually been seen since the 1800s in parts of the coastal regions around Ecuador. So every baby tapir born into the programme is very, very important.
And rather cute as well. Now, the ancient British tradition of eel catching is under threat because of the last surviving catcher is struggling to find an heir. Peter Carter, who's 45, has harvested the Cambridgeshire fens for 30 years, using skills passed down between generations since medieval times. Now, the first written record of traditional eel catching in Peter's family was actually made in 1470.
Britain's Got Talent judge Amanda Holden joined other celebrities at a memorial service for a millionaire Norfolk hotelier. Amanda was a close friend of Paul Whitcomb, who ran the boutique hotel The Host Arms at Burnham Market.
More than 1,200 people attended the Thanksgiving service, which the 55-year-old had meticulously planned himself. Here's Natalie Gray.
He owned a popular celebrity haunt, and today those celebrities remembered the man who'd become their friend. Paul Whitcomb, the flamboyant owner of the Host Arms at Burnham Market, getting the send-off he'd planned after discovering he was dying of cancer.
His place was called The Host, and he epitomised the host. He was larger than life, hugely generous, very perceptive about people. He's the mayor of Burnham Market, that's what I always used to call him.
300 people packed the church, 700 more filled a marquee, with another 200 standing outside.
Who has left the world better than he found it, who has looked for the best in others and given the best he had, whose life was an inspiration, whose memory is a benediction.
A choir from the Thursford collection sang his favourite numbers. Under his management, the Host Arms became a magnet for film stars and celebrities, and this well-heeled Norfolk village soon became known as Chelsea by Sea.
I kind of had a dressing gown relationship with Paul because I often stayed at the house, and we'd always both get up quite early, and I treasure the memory so much.
Paul had planned every detail of the service himself. No one was to wear black, and it was to be above all a joyous occasion. And he wanted to be a part of it, insisting his ashes went along too.
I can't think about him without smiling at the moment, and that's a good thing, because he was just, well, he made Burnham Market what it is today, and Burnham Market is a sadder place without him.
He's got big connections with South Africa, and in South Africa he is known as the Lion, which is Boubez. He's a huge personality, the kindest man I've ever met, and I shall miss him very, very much.
He loved a bit of drama, he loved being in the spotlight. He would love that you were interviewing me now and the television cameras were down here. I know it's ironic, but that's what he enjoyed, so it's perfect for him.
So farewell to one of Norfolk's most colourful characters and friend to the stars. Natalie Gray, Anglia News, Burnham Market.
Saying goodbye to Paul Whitcomb there.
Popular guy.
Yeah. Now, we heard earlier about the investigation underway at the Latitude Festival.
Thousands of people have headed to Henham Park near Southwold in Suffolk for 3 days of music and entertainment. And Victoria Webb has spent the day there too. She joins us now. Victoria, I have to say, many people talking about last night's alleged incident.
Well, to be honest, there hasn't been police present, so a lot of people haven't even heard about it. For those who have, it obviously has come as quite a shock because the Latitude Festival is seen as a family festival. There's been lots of children around here today dressed up with their parents. More than 700 performers will be appearing at the festival this weekend. At the moment behind me, Esben and the Witch. In a couple of hours' time on the main stage will be Florence and the Machine, and I know that's an act a lot of people are looking forward to seeing. After a rather windy and wet night, this morning campers woke up to sunshine and, of course, a wonderful aroma of fry-ups. This is what they'd experienced the previous evening. Nigel Kennedy performing as part of his world tour.
It's like an amazing experience, you know, people are mellow, they're chilled, everyone into different types of music. That's what's great about festival in general. What I detect about Latitude on my first day here, because it's my first time, right, it's just it seems a little bit more chilled than some other festivals.
This morning, the crowds arrived en masse to experience the 5th Latitude Festival and all it has to offer.
Been to other festivals which aren't as family friendly as this, and this is lovely. He's enjoying himself.
It's my first time here, so it's really nice and small and chilled.
Looking forward to seeing a few bands tomorrow, the Maccabees, Florence and the Machine tonight should be good. Yeah, it's a really good crowd, and we're having a really good time.
Among the acts performing, local lad Matthew P, who's just finished his first album.
It's really nice. It feels like a sort of bigger version of a local sort of fete, really. Just wandering around to me, because I live 10 miles away.
Headliners at this year's festival are Florence and the Machine, Belle and Sebastian and Vampire Weekend. A choice critics now agree was the right one.
It's actually made a difference to the audience here, actually. It's a much younger audience than it was in previous years. This festival is sort of often seen as quite middle class and quite genteel, and it's given a bit of a shot in the arm. It certainly feels younger and a bit more edgy, really.
This is a festival that's known as being family friendly, with theatre, comedy and poetry tents pitched alongside the music stages. It's certainly different. Here, people even walk on water.
It's a nice setting to do it in as well. You've got everything going on around you and just do a bit of knitting.
Inside the comedy tent, it was quite civilised if you managed to grab a sofa, and just outside, others took time out with a bit of yoga. I found a way to chill out too.
This is the life.
If the wide variety of food on offer isn't enough, how about a sit-down dinner in the restaurant, new this year? Walking around Henham Park, you never know who you're going to bump into.
It's a nice size, it's sort of 25,000, 30,000 people, and it's just manageable, you know. And it's I don't know, there's just something about it. It's got a bit of a vibe, and a good festival does do that.
If you haven't already come dressed for the occasion, then there's plenty to buy. And new this year is a creche for those wanting some time without the children. In Latitude's first year back in 2005, the organisers would have been hoping it would be a real success. Now it's up there with all the other festivals across the country, but luckily for us, it's right on our doorstep. Well, Latitude is getting bigger every year. The man responsible is Melvin Benn. Melvin, when you wander around here, it really is a world away from reality, isn't it?
Well, it's maybe a world away from your reality, but not mine. This is actually my reality. This is, 365 days a year in planning for me. And yeah, of course, we have a few days at the actual festival, but this is my reality.
And 5 years ago, you could have only dreamed for it to be this big.
No, of course. I mean, 5 years ago, we probably had less than 5,000 people here in terms of campers, and now we're 35,000 sold out, and just people that I know will come back. People are having such a wonderful time.
And of course, it's good for local businesses as well. They can get involved.
Oh, look, lots of local businesses. Great for bed and breakfast. You can't get a room anywhere in the area, of course. But a lot of the local farmers get involved. We get, the South Wales Lions are involved. Lots of church groups. The Woodcraft Vote. There's a lot of local, community business as well.
Well, thanks very much, Melvin. I'm just going to wander over here, and I can speak to Caroline, who's an author taking part in the festival. Caroline, what's it like to be part of the Latitude Festival?
It's fantastic. It's a really wonderful atmosphere here, and there's lots of things to do for people of all ages, and whoever you are, you can come and have some fun here. Yeah, so really, really lovely day so far.
And what have the children been doing?
The children have been joining me today in the book tent. So I personally have been teaching them how to crack codes and read secret messages. But there are lots and lots of activities so that they can do parachute games, they can make things structures out of willow, they can have their face painted, or just run around wild, yeah, and enjoy it.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Well, there have been lots of people wearing wellies today, but luckily we haven't had any rain. Is that going to continue, Rachel?
Yes, well, there was a heavy downpour last night, but today's been lovely, really. And let's take a look at all the details for the rest of the weather this weekend.
Well, from us here in the studio and the girls at Latitude, we hope you have a very lovely weekend.
Have a great time. We'll see you next week. All the best. Bye-bye.